Yo, Geronimos. Now I have to get back to English because I just had some conversations and for some reason I feel like I'm in deep flow, or maybe I'm flowing more shallowy. What is shallow? It's I don't know what the mundane is, but the words rings a bell. Maybe it's the obvious, that which lies on the surface of things, but then they say shallow waters are deep. Sometimes the things that look like really obvious are actually the most deep that you can ever find, and you thought they were really shallow and suddenly you like sucked into something. Maybe that's what people think of homeless people. I mean, homeless, right? It's like actually modern vagabonds, alcoholic, or maybe professional alcoholic vagabonds. I don't really know. What I know is that it's really weird how I get into these states of flow. You know, there's always this, in the morning, this building up of pressure. So I stay at home, I drink a coffee, I eat something. When I think, you know, shouldn't I be fasting? Shouldn't I do other things? But it always comes to that point of no return, where the day is starting to take shape and you make certain choices and then you just let go and you start flowing, and then you just take any opportunity that presents itself, and where your feeling says, go on mate, do it, and you're like, nah, that sounds like too much work. So I just spent 20, 30, 40, I don't know. I just took 60 pictures of the cinema where I used to work, and I didn't realize how emotional that topic is for me, because what I realized was that I always thought, you know, I need to live in Amsterdam or something. But to me, this city has become Amsterdam, because all the wonder I could wish for, I already have here, but it's not in the magnificence of the canals or something, or the grachten, as they say in the Netherlands, these water canals. No, what it actually is it's more in the people and the experiences I've made here. And most people that I meet, or that I know in Lunatic, their range of experiences is like work, TV, the couch, eating and getting drunk, and all the other experiences are somewhere back in their childhood. Whereas my experiences are just very fresh, and I just keep making new experiences, which was stemming from probably what you could consider a depression after Africa and coming back here, and then realizing I don't really have friends anymore. There are no people that I like to hang out with, and nobody wants to do the things that I want to do, because they're all so stuck up at, oh, now he's coming from Africa and he thinks he learned something. I'm like, yeah, sure, man, I learned a lot. You know, can you hear it? Can you feel it? Can you see it? Because whatever I learned during my studies, you know, those are like topics of personal heaven, personal hell. You can build your hell by walking around and thinking, now I'm an adult and now I have to do what adults do. So I have to lead a miserable life, keep all my emotions close to the chest, never feel anything. I mean, just look at this, man. Just look at this. Why do I need to go to Amsterdam when there's like hundreds of people doing what I'm doing here? Sure, I mean, me now recording myself may spark other people to do the same thing, but the point is, unless you know what you're talking about, unless you can fill the void with some sort of experienced real-life meaning, it's pointless. And that's why I think what I'm doing here, the way I'm doing it, nobody can really do that. I can do it, and yeah, sure, anybody could do that, but not in the way that I'm doing it. They could do it in the way that they want to do it. Plus, if everybody would start creating this content, you know, I would create content somewhere else. So right now I'm working on Lunatic, but it doesn't mean that I'm stuck here. I can go anywhere else in the world. Supposedly, right? I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. You know, I shouldn't sound too certain, because I'm still like a bit wobbly. You know, any day I might just, you know, land on my face or have reality punch out my teeth or something and tell me, what are you talking about, man? Nobody likes you, you know? Your life is a fantasy. You will never earn money with this. Yeah, I'm going through that every single day. And every single day I decide, yeah man, I've got 60 euros on my bank account. Nah, even less actually, it's like 10. And yeah, I'm basically earning almost nothing. But I'm making so many experiences and I have so many emotions that I can share, you know, there's like no end to it. Which means that this is something that I could and can and quite possibly will keep doing for the rest of my life, which is a very scary concept to think about. Wait a second, how fast can being creative turn into some vicious place that you never wanted to get to, where you're kind of stuck at creating things? Well, the thing is, I can do this non-stop. I can show people my worldview. I grow, so I never stop, which means I continue to grow. And what that means is, you know, I never stand still, which means I continuously keep learning. Sure, sometimes I relax, yeah, relax into that, relax into the, you know how stupid your voice sounds, if you can relax into that. Sometimes I talk like a little kid, but it's okay. To some people you have to talk a bit like a little kid, because otherwise they feel too intimidated. And sure, sometimes you do want something from someone, and when you do want something from someone, then you have to make an effort sometimes, right? It's like, you know, how can I commit myself to one woman? Well, if I stop being so goddamn wiggly. Because my problem is not that women don't like me, the problem is that I was never certain which woman to like myself, which woman should I love? You know, that's like an essential problem for the rest of my life. I mean, I can love all women, but like really love her. You know, we're gonna do this together kind of thing. You know, should she be like me? Should she like hiking and sports and climbing? Should she have like the same interests, similar interests, or completely different interests so that I can keep doing my own thing all the time? You know, suddenly, as my life is taking shape, I have the feeling I don't really need somebody who's exactly like me, because in a way I have the feeling it would also piss me off. Sure, I mean, if we would both be the same, you know, you and I are one, then we could do things together at the same time and be the same mind, which is weird, but at the same time, you know, it's a nice concept, but how often does that happen? So I'm not saying I'm giving up on, you know, what is real or true love. I'm just saying I'm opening up to any possibility. And sometimes you open up to someone and you're just being truthful. You say, hey, you know, sure, you know that there was somebody that I liked earlier and now I've realized, you know, you are where your life is. And so I can say to her, I'm looking for a wife. And if that's too much for her, or she's afraid to love me, to me it doesn't really matter, because what I'm doing is I'm giving attention, and attention is love. and love is energy, and energy is life, which means that I can love anyone, and they decide how close they want to get to me. You know, I can make an offer, but I cannot expect things to come out of this. So if I say I see a woman, and this woman is troubled, then what do? I can go to her and I say, hey, you know, here's an offer. You want to go hiking with me or something? You know, spend time together. I don't know if she wants that. I don't know who she could be if she would stop being who she thinks she is. Yeah. Yeah, that was stolen. Guess from who? This is one of the most beautiful places. I know this tree very well. Hello, friend. You know, this is being high on life, by the way. I don't need to smoke for that. I could, but actually I think smoking at this point would ruin my natural high. Or actually nothing can ruin my high, but I do feel sometimes a bit of a hangover after doing certain things, which is also okay. Just look at this. Just look at this. Like, what more do I have to tell you? That life happens where you are. You know, some people, they go through it, they don't even see this. But I see it, and I like it. Now somebody's coming, but it's okay. You know, there's so much I could share, so many places I love, so many people I love, so many stories I could tell, that you don't even know where to start. And sometimes you listen to someone, and they give you all this information from their own lives, and you think, where am I supposed to put all of that? And then you say, you just unjudgingly just put it into a chest in your heart, and you keep it there, and it's going to keep you warm for the rest of your life, because you know that you actually went out there at the chance of being injured, and you said, hey, I want to live, right? I want to live, I want to do something, I want to make an effort. And I have scars to show for that, for the effort I made at living. I have real life action scars. And how could that be bad, right? You know, how could that be bad? It couldn't be. So you just continue. And now I want to stop this and start with another shoot. You know, I'm trying to categorize it, right? Instead of putting all into one, and just try to section it again. Maybe this was the first video called James Bond or something, right? Who knows? Have to be in stealth mode or something.